finally gonna do something to this fucking turd besides break an axle. SuperAtv, 1.5 inch forward rake, an arch, and then 1.5 inch rear rake or whatever the fuck. A-Arms, and I bought a 6,000 pound winch from SuperAtv, and then the SuperAtv mounting plate just to give me a little more ground clearance. Both of them control arms is fucked. That one's bent, and then that one the bracket lift is messed up on it. Old boy that had the bike before me pulled it from the control arm like out of a hole or something, and then he broke the bracket lift and then bent the control arm down here. So this control arm is basically unusable if you do anything aftermarket, because it got that bracket lift welded on it. And then this fucking bracket lift, I bent it. It's supposed to be straight. I bent it and then I cracked it as well. So all that shit's fucking coming off. I got the winch plate thing, so we have to bend this back a little bit to mount that fair lead and whatnot. I didn't film that a fucking thing, I forgot, but got the lower off. Lower ball joint. It's fucked, but that's why I got the ones with the pressed in ones. This one's okay. With that fucking jerry rig ass shit they did. Axle still broke, but so obviously you gotta remove these sway bars and all that. These bushings are already pressed in, but like these little side pieces are gonna want to come out. So you want to make sure those are nice and tight. Put a grease cert, and I put about 4 pumps of grease. After about 4 pumps, the little inserts will want to slide out like this, and it gets hard to put them in. Like put the control on them, because that little piece is gonna want to stick out. So you could put grease in them while they're on the bike. I got like the one with the little holes, so I'll probably be able to do it pretty easy, but I'm just doing before, so don't forget. But obviously shock mounts here, sway bar inlet mounts here. You got the little holes here and here to run your brake line, and it comes with the little clips and screws to mount them too, so that's nice. Comes with the grease zerts and all that. I took the front bump off to mess with it, because this is to get to the shock bolt like this. Or not shock bolt, control arm bolt. And I did not put the steering stops in. I could. Just stops it from turning so much. Fix it through the winch, because it'd be a lot easier to work when there ain't nothing in the fucking way on one side. So the bracket goes like this. One of these ways. I think it goes like that. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Obviously, there's 4 mounting spots. Comes with these 4 carriage bolts or whatever you want to call them, and obviously you put the bracket past that, put the nut on the back. Not too hard for that. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'll mount the winch, mount the wires. I'm gonna run the wires kind of where all the other wires are run, and they'll go up to that power source, which are gonna be light bar hooked up to, which is right there. You got positive, negative terminals and all that right there, and then I'll run my switch and whatnot through that bushing into the cab. With the winch mount, it's just 4 little bolts that thread into the bottom side of the winch through the plate. Didn't film too much, but got the A-arms on this side in, got the winch all done and mounted. The only thing I haven't done is run the wires, which that won't be shit really, because everything's color coded on the winch and then on the little box itself that controls the winch, and all I gotta do is just run my switch. Got the A-arms in. Everything's all bolted up. Only thing I haven't done is cut this axle, which I'm gonna cut it. I started cutting it, but the blade that I had wasn't good, so I'm gonna just get a grinder with a cutoff wheel and do that. My cutoff wheel is broken, so pretty easy. Literally the hardest part I had with the whole thing was taking these fucking sway bar end links off of the factory control arms, or A-arms, whatever you want to call them, because I guess they were like rusted on. I never soaked them with nothing. I never soaked any of the bolts with anything like PB Blast or whatever. So I do have, next time I would probably do that. So all I gotta do is just tighten the 4 bolts that hold the control arms, the A-arms in, and that's it. I'm done with the front. The back I'm gonna do tomorrow. Because I was an idiot, it was late last night. I forgot that this fair lead needs to mounted them up, so I can take the fair lead off. Take them fair lead brackets off, which put them over there. I mean, I put the fair lead on, bumper, bend it back kind of straight. Put it on, ran my hook it, take that fucking stop off. But that's all good. So I'm gonna start on the rear A-Arms, and then I'm gonna do the wiring because, like I said, the wiring should be pretty easy. Yellow and it's all color coded and whatnot. I'm gonna just run it. I'll probably run it through right here, depending on how I can run the wires, probably like that. And then I'll have positive and negative here. Run my switch thing right there, and should be good to go. Got this side all on. Shock spacer, comes a little spacer for the lower control arm bolt to pass through. Got the top one on. I broke the fucking greaser, so I'm gonna have to get in the greaser, but not a big deal. You do have to drill these out. It calls for a 12 millimeter drill bit. I don't know what I drilled it out to, but just because the bolt is a little bigger. But it'll pass through. So. Got this one on. I did run the brake line wrong. I was supposed to run it in the inside the axle, then so it could run along the side here. So for now, I just got it zip tied right there. It should be fine. But ground clearance is way better, especially right there. It's like a 2-inch difference from that point to that point. I do have to mess with the alignment in the front, but I'm gonna do this out tomorrow. The mosquitoes is bad, but I soaked all these bolts in PB Blaster, so they should be easier to come off. Finished up with the rears, got the skinnies on the rear because I want to go with a skinny look in the back. So rears are done. Got the winch switch wired and got the wires run positive and negative to the battery, to the winch. I'm not too sure if that's the best spot to put the wires. I might change that up, put it more inside the frame, but I got all this extra fucking left. Got them running here. Winch switch is run here, and it's kind of zip tied behind here. Connects to this, which is connected to the box. I got these two little sub toppers that I'm gonna put here and here just for this. I could use a nut in the bolt, but just for now, it'll be fine. If it rattles around, waddles out, I'll put a nut in the boat. But then I have to connect these two, and everything's labeled pretty good. You got winch negative, winch positive, battery positive, battery negative. So I got my battery negative here, and then all I have to do is connect my battery positive, and I'm gonna just leave it all rolled up like it is with zip ties, kind of just sit right here. I could theoretically cut it, splice it back together, make it short to go there, but it'll be alright. So I'm running the wire. So I gotta connect to that little 12 volt that's on that pulse bar, just the positive and negative, and doing that, it's a constant. It's not like an ignition or whatever where it only comes on. And I want this to be a constant. It doesn't really matter if the winch is constant power or not, but if I have this little light or these two little wires connected, first and third one on the left side, the lights come on. You see winch out coming on, whatever. So instead, but the winch still has power with them disconnected. It's just a constant power, which is fine. It could be ignition power, constant power. It really doesn't matter. I do have a 12 volt car battery in here instead of the little razor, like the factory one. So what I'm gonna just do is I just disconnected these two, and I'm gonna zip tie them to the little wiring harness. And by doing that, I'll still have constant power on my winch, just like on my light bar, but it won't kill my battery with these little lights on, which over time it would kill it. But for now, this will be a good alternative. What does alternative mean, Mom?
Don't know.
Man, what the fuck? It means another way.
Why couldn't you just say that?
Because it's another way, alternative. Well, no, it is the same. Fuck you. Anyways, the winch is all done up though, so Lil Slime did it for me. Dude's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Fucking master mechanic.
Check out that. See all this right here?
Yeah, he did that. Good job.
Sun to stone.
fucking slimy right there. Fucking slimy.
I gotta cut that one out. Stupid.
Nice. Anyways, we'll get these 37s for 24s, Motor Havocs. Motor Havocs, they don't pull as good as BKTs, but they're alright. They look better in my opinion, and these were pretty cheap. I mean, they used obviously, so you're gonna have like shit like that every once in a while. But for how much I got them for and how much actual tread they have, I mean, I'm not entirely mad about it. These are probably in the back. No plugs, no patches, no shit like that. I will be putting them on my bike eventually once I get a lift, because I only got A-Arms right now. And obviously for 24, so I'll probably get JTXs. I'm just not sure what style I want yet. So if I got a style of JTX or maybe American Forces or something like that, let me know. I need to figure out what style I want, but 37.5s, to me, Motor Havocs look better. They don't pull as good. Obviously, everybody knows that, but they're a little bit lighter tire. Supposedly, they ride better, but I think they look good. And for the price I got these, I can't complain, really, for how much tread they have, so. So I just finished working on my truck. Transmission shift sensor went out when I was, well, it didn't go out. I noticed it was shifting weird, and then I ended up changing the transmission pan gasket. When I changed the transmission pan gasket, I noticed that the sensor was broken, whatever. Anyways, CV axle, this side by side, been fucking cut for the longest time. Finally bought a new one. Went and rented this slide hammer with a CV axle puller. Shoved it down there, hit it down a little bit. Used a crowbar to shove this behind the axle, and just use the slide hammer, and finally able to get it out. Only took me a little bit, but it's a little rusted on. So I'm gonna put some greases and stuff in there. But finally got that fucker out. I will hopefully be getting a lift soon to level out the front like a little shock lift, but was finally able to get that out. So that's nice. Gonna kind of clean this up. It's kind of dirty, and put some grease in there and put the new axle, put it all back together. Just kind of wanted to show y'all that, because that slide hammer saved me a lot of time. I could have used that in the first place, besides if I wouldn't have welded it, you know? Hey, good old Cass.
Did you hear me the first time? I said, eat my fucking ass, bitch.
Stupid. Look, Drew. Let him know.
Colin, you so not fucking funny.
Let him know,
Unfunny ass. For some 4 to 6 inch portals right now.
Selling that to Jonah.
The adjustable portals? 4 to 6?
Yeah.
You just gotta crank the tire on. Jonah could never. Tobin could never. Fuck Tobin. Copycat motherfucker. Hey, they ain't gonna see this video till next fucking year, so it really don't. This is a fucking tank, buddy. Time to break everything, like John said. What the fuck is all these nuts?